Netflix won't stop making horrible changes. What in God's name are they doing this time?
I've been actively following all of the Netflix updates in regards to their password sharing policy because I always get really interested when a company the size of Netflix makes business decisions that could ultimately lead to its demise.
Stupid, right? It's stupid. Like some of these companies, the decisions they make are detrimental. Like, what person in office is telling them to make these idiotic, horrible decisions that can make them make, or I should say, make them lose millions and millions of dollars? It's stupid.
This idea of something being too big to fail, but then failing anyway, is always so interesting. Like Blockbuster, once a household name, but now a household joke. Netflix watched Blockbuster jump off a cliff and said that looked like fun, so why don't we try it? Which is poetic considering Netflix did play some role in the demise of Blockbuster.
Netflix did, yep. Redbox was another one. God. Early 2000s, man. Blockbuster was the place to go. I kid you not. I kid you not. Those Friday nights, man, we would get all dressed up, spray our cologne on. We would look like we're going to the club or something. But no, we were just going to Blockbuster. Technically, Blockbuster was a club because of how fucking lit it was on Friday night. Movie aisles jumping, game aisles jumping. It was a movie. No pun intended.
And now they're making decisions that are very possibly leading them to the same fate. I'm sure all of you know they don't like password sharing anymore. They're waging war on the 100 million password sharers. They're trying to commit a genocide on them. They've made a very strong stance, wiggling their fingers, saying, no, 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 no more of that, Buster. They've pumped up their SpongeBob anchor arms and they're busting down your door and removing access to your Netflix account if you're a password sharer. I've already talked about this twice, but it just keeps changing and evolving quicker than a fucking Pokemon. So initially, their plan was restrict access to anyone that shares passwords.
Yeah. So when their idea first leaked out to the people, the population, they got so much backlash off of it, right? To the point where they had to find a way to circle back and retract what they said, trying to blame it on it was just a mess up in marketing or PR. Over here pointing fingers saying they didn't mean to do this or say that because they knew they woken the dragon. They awoken the fucking dragon. And they knew they fucked up when they released that.
Passwords where it's only a one household service where you have to be in a
Yeah.
primary location in order to access it, and you only get a 7-day grace period while you're traveling to access Netflix. That was as lenient as they got.
Man, who the fuck they think they are? Hulu? Nobody likes Hulu. Who likes Hulu? The fuck out of here if you like Hulu, man. Those fucking scam artists, man. I had Hulu for one fucking week, man. 1 week when I had it. Right? Didn't have Hulu Live. Hulu Live is a whole different animal. $80. I wouldn't recommend it. Tell me why within that 1 week of me having Hulu, I had a lot of movies I could watch. I had HBO I could watch. I think I had Showtime. But the point is, I had a lot of good services I could watch on Hulu at the time within that 1 week. tell me why they started locking out HBO, Showtime, etc., where you had to buy Hulu, and then on top of that, you had to buy Showtime, and then you had to buy HBO. So you had to have 3 or 4 other subscriptions. If you had Hulu. Why? Who the fuck will do that? Like, do we look like Boo Boo the Fool? Do we really need about 30 different sign-ins? 30 different streaming platforms? No, we gotta have Hulu, we gotta have Showtime, we gotta have HBO Max, huh? We gotta have Lifetime, we gotta have all that? And we gotta pay different subscriptions for it? Man, it's just, I don't know what's going on, man. It's gonna be like you gotta pay $500 to have cable, man. Shit's ridiculous. Shit is ridiculous. They gonna have us go back to the Stone Age buying DVDs and stuff. And I'm okay with that.
They put all of these rules into effect in some Latin American countries, but now they've also put it into effect in Canada. Mudahar recently made a video covering all of this. Here you can see a notice that you receive. A Netflix account is for people who live in the same location. So if you're not a member of the family, or at least a stranger living inside the walls, attic, or basement of someone's household, you won't be able to access their Netflix account anymore. You'll just be kicked off and unable to access it. Now, originally, this was going to be going global,
Worldwide.
right?
Yeah.
But after backlash, they tried to play the "it was just a prank bro" card and say that this policy wasn't meant to go live on the...
They tried to pull an April Fool's, but it wasn't April 1st.
American services. So when it hit the website as like an upcoming policy change, they tried to backpedal saying, whoa, big oops moment here. That's not happening yet. But then confirmed that it is happening in Latin American countries, and now it's happening in Canada. So you can extrapolate from this that it's likely coming to America very soon. Going to the website, you can see a bit more in detail exactly what the plan is. We've always made it easy for people who live together to share their Netflix account with features like profiles and multiple streams. All these have been...
So here's the thing with this, right? Let's say they implement this globally, right? They make it seem like this is out of insulin, right? Like this is water. It's food. They act like this is a necessity for us, right? It is not a fucking necessity for us. We do not need Netflix, right? They think, oh, well, if we exit out and we get rid of password sharing, then we're just going to automatically gain 100 million subscribers or 100 million more clients. It doesn't work like that. You're going to lose those 100 million clients and customers, and then on top of that, you got the other people who are doing the password sharing, who's actually holding the accounts. They're probably just going to fucking either lower their account, so they will lower their tier, where it's only going to be only one TV, right? Which is, I don't know, like $9 or $10 a month. Or B, they're just going to be canceling the shit because they don't even watch Netflix themselves. They're doing it just because other people, their family members are using it. So you got two choices that these people are going to make. And it's going to be detrimental to Netflix. And then we go, oh my gosh. And then now Hulu is going to be top dog. I hate to even say that.
Been hugely popular. They've also created confusion about when and how you can share Netflix. Today, over 100 million households are sharing accounts, impacting our ability to invest in great new TV and films. What's impacting your ability to invest in great new TV and films is common fucking sense. You guys have brain rot at the office and literally greenlight the worst shit imaginable. It is unreal, the low quality of some of your Netflix originals, and you don't even promote half of them. In the last video I made talking about this whole situation, I mentioned
that is very
Blues
true.
Brothers, which is a show that I think had 10 people watch it. And
What
one
the?
of them was Matt, and he said it's the
This is a Netflix series? I've never even heard of this one. It did really bad though.
worst comedy he's ever watched in his life. And Netflix tries to like bury that under the rug, yet they financed it, right? Like you are putting money behind projects no one wants, no one hears about, and no one likes. That has nothing to do with the amount of money you have in your piggy bank, because you are shaking your piggy bank like you're trying to make it rain on a stripper. You're just putting it into projects that are bad and doomed for failure. It has nothing to do with your actual financial bottom line. You have plenty of money to invest in good TV.
Netflix did
films.
have a couple
You're
of
just
bangers,
not.
though.
You're
I
putting
do
it
give
into
them that.
trash, garbage, and clearly you're not being rewarded for it. And also, talking about the confusion around how you can share Netflix, you slimy weasels, you absolute fucking worms. What what a despicable load of horseradish. You used to encourage password sharing. This little blemish is still live on your pub.
The internet, we never forget. If you post something, it is going to be on the internet forever. You condone this, Netflix. You see this? You condone this. Now, why would you want to take that back? You just all of a sudden don't like it? No, it's greed.
Public Twitter right now. Love is sharing a password. Now, if you want to say that you've completely changed your stance on it, that's one thing. Love is no longer sharing a password. In fact, that's sin. Sharing a password is unforgivable sin, a breaking of the 10 Commandments, and you're going to go for it.
True.
You've changed your mind. That's what you should say. Not try and chalk it up to confusion as if you've never encouraged password sharing. You used to, and now you're not. Okay? It's changed. There's not fucking confusion. You're just delusional. You're the crazy one. You're taking crazy pills, not me. I'm not dumb, you're dumb. They continue to announce that it's rolling out in Canada, New Zealand, Portugal, and Spain, then talk about what's coming. So setting primary location, which is the one household system, managing access and devices, which they're saying you can now easily manage who has access to the account, even though that's never really been like a pain point or a headache. Like the only reason Netflix ever got super popular in the first place is because of the convenience and the ease of use. So it's actually just easier to pay for Netflix as opposed to pirate something. So it's never been like hard to do that. I don't know why they're advertising it as like a new easy service. So that's a weird bit of fluff there. Transferring profile, so people using an account can now easily transfer their profile to a new account, which they pay for. Watch while you travel, so you can still access Netflix when you're on like a vacation at a hotel and shit, but it's only for a limited amount of time. It's not like
Netflix, you are a luxury to us. Okay? I'm just saying that right now. If you do get rid of this, it'll be detrimental for your company.
forever travel, at least not as I understand it. I don't know why they're leaving it kind of vague there. But then this one is a little interesting. So now you can buy an extra member. So members on our standard or premium plan in many countries, including Canada, New Zealand, Portugal, and Spain, can add an extra member sub-account for up to 2 people they don't live with, each with a profile, personalized recommendations, login, and password for an extra $8 a month per person in Canada, and then adjusting the rates for the other locations. So you're paying a subscription per person per month. And here's just a visual of all the plan features. So premium is clearly the highest tier where you get to purchase membership for 2 other people. And this whole thing is very confusing to me because it seems like there is absolutely no reason to purchase extra members on your account. You're not getting a crazy discount on it, and when you do pay for that extra membership,
there's no benefit.
You're getting their own separate login and password. All you're doing is picking up the bill. So you're paying 2 monthly payments, your account and now theirs. So what the fuck is the point? At that point, you're better off just giving them $10 in the mail and saying, hey, go crazy, go hog wild, make a Netflix account with this. Like, what is the point in paying for that
is true.
Password sharing? And that's the wrong word because you're not even sharing passwords. You're just sharing the embarrassment of paying for Netflix twice, really. The
or
idea,
3 times.
I suppose, is, like, let's say when this goes live in America, my parents won't be able to use my Netflix account. Well, I can still give them access to it if I'm a premium member by paying the fee for them too. So then I just pick up the bill for both of us and they can still have their own separate Netflix that I'm paying.
At that point, you just have those people create their own and call it a day.
paying for as opposed to them. So it's not really password sharing, it's just giving you the opportunity to pay for a couple of other people to have access, which I think is just kind of worthless, really. I don't see that being a super popular idea. Though the more I think on it, the more I think there was actual potential with the core concept here. I don't know the exact numbers, but I would imagine the majority of people that are sharing Netflix passwords aren't sharing it with like fucking 10 or 20 people. They're probably sharing it with close friends and family,
Yeah.
at least in
Like
my
3
experience,
people.
That's who's sharing.
Like 3
So
people,
like
that's it.
2, maybe 3 people. Like, you know, a divorced family where the kids want access to Netflix at both mom's side and dad's side, and so they share an account to make that easy. They can't do that anymore without paying multiple times, but why not take this idea and expand it like this? You have X amount of free account sharing. So you can designate like 2 family members that can still share your same Netflix account for free. Nothing changes there. But then if you want to extend it to like 4 people, 5 people, whatever, then you pay. So then you'd pay like an additional $8 to get like 2 more people that you can share it with. So I feel like that'd be a much more lenient way of monetizing in a very similar fashion that wouldn't immediately just be like fucking going crazy with it and making it super brutal. The motivation behind this idea is clearly to monetize the 100 million people currently accessing their service for free. However, I compare this decision to when OnlyFans spent 12 hours saying that they're going to be removing adult content from their site, which would instantly kill OnlyFans. They eventually had that eureka moment where the light bulb flipped on in their head and they're like, wait, if
We can't do that.
porn from OnlyFans,
We can't do that.
we're going to be buried 6 feet under. We're fucked. So then they reversed it. I still don't understand exactly what happened during that time period at OnlyFans headquarters. They must have been hit by like some kind of cosmic stupid beam that reset their IQ to like 3. And they're like, oh, OnlyFans is not a porn site anymore. Now it's going to be about cooking and sports and shit. Or whatever else they were trying to say. Maybe they got confused on the date and thought it was April 1st. I don't know. But that was still one of the most comically awful
said that about
business decisions
Netflix.
I've ever seen. And now Netflix is trying to compete with that by taking 100 million users away from their own service and expecting them to come back groveling at their feet with money in their hand in order to access the worst Netflix original content imaginable. Slapping 100 million people and then still expecting them to bend over and goatsy for you so you can fuck them financially is just an absurd notion. I'm sure some people that are kicked off will pay for it going forward, but I think the vast majority won't because there's so much competition, so many other places they can go, and also this isn't like some invaluable service people can't be without. They'll probably just not bother in the first place, especially considering how weak and winky-dinky the catalog is, full of stinky Netflix originals with almost none of them being good for 2023's upcoming slate. I looked at the docket for the upcoming Netflix originals this year, and there's only like 2 that stood out as potentially good, which I feel like is the primary reason Netflix users even have an account is for the originals, because if you're just on Netflix for like some of the old classic shows that are still amazing bangers, you can still find them elsewhere for cheaper than your subscription model right now. And since this is becoming wildly inconvenient for the 100 million users that were password sharing, most of them, I imagine, will start turning to piracy. This will incentivize piracy to pop off once again.
Oh, yeah.
They're just not going back to Netflix.
I agree
At least
with
not
that.
a super meaningful number of them. That's my prediction. But yeah, that's the latest update on Netflix ruining their own business model. So yeah, that's about it. So yeah.
It's greed. It's nothing else but greed. Oh. The state of Netflix. Okay. Okay. You know what? We're going to play some Hogwarts. I got to set up my PS5 to the computer. So I will be right back.